What is up? Welcome back to my channel. As you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing kind of like a college experience, frequently asked questions, post-grad, Q&A, all about my college experience at uOttawa. You guys really wanted to see this, so I'm so happy to do it for you guys. If you guys are new to my channel and this is your first time seeing my face, hi, my name is Carter. I would love if you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below. It would mean the world to me. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be filming just kind of like a college experience Q&A. I asked you guys over on my Instagram, which if you guys aren't following, I'll put it right here for you guys. And you guys can go follow over there because that's where I tend to post my stories with like my Q&As and stuff. So, got a glass of Pinot Grigio. We got some Q's. I'm going to give you guys some A's. And it's going to be a good time. So, how did you manage online classes? Did you struggle with them compared to face-to-face classes? And what study techniques differ? So, if you guys don't know, at uOttawa, there are 3 different kind of methods of teaching. So, there's face-to-face classes, there's online classes, and then there's like in the middle, which is called a hybrid class. So, it's a combination of in-person face-to-face lecture and online classes. So, the majority of my classes I took in undergrad were like a hybrid or a online class. I just thrive best in those, and I'll get into it in a sec of why. But I probably took about 50% of my classes online or hybrid. I only found out about hybrid classes towards the end of undergrad, but those were definitely some of my favorite classes. If you guys didn't know, I actually worked full-time throughout university. I work at our local 2 hospitals, and our hybrid classes was obviously best for me just because I worked basically shift work at the hospital and I couldn't commit to going to class every week. So it was the reality. And so online classes, I've talked about this in videos and you guys can kind of go through my channel and find the videos pertaining to it. But my #1 tip for online classes, if you're doing a few online classes or just 1 or 2, is to set aside 1 day of the week to get all of your work done. With online classes, the workload can be a bit different than face-to-face classes. There can be more online assignments and essays and discussions. So what I would do is I would just set aside 1 afternoon or like 1 morning, basically a half day every week. It was usually Sunday mornings, and get all of my assignments and discussion groups and boards and all those things done for the week. That way I didn't really have to worry about it and I could focus on my in-class lectures. That was the easiest method for me. But definitely, you know, it's not something I think is for everyone, and I don't think it's suited to every kind of class. Like, I don't think you can teach math and chem on an online class. I feel like, I don't know. I thrive in online classes personally because I'm a very independent person. I like to do things on my own time, but I also know friends who can't do online classes and they thrive best going to class physically, like face-to-face, being in a lecture environment. But to me, it doesn't really matter. I actually prefer online classes. I just think I thrive in them a bit better, and I'm really good at kind of determining my own schedule, getting work done, and teaching myself, if that makes sense. So I definitely recommend online classes if you guys want to even try them out. There are some lower level electives at uOttawa that you can take online, but I highly recommend looking into it and just trying it out and seeing if it's right for you, because you won't really know until you try. Do you ever switch programs? I want to switch, but I'm not sure about the whole thing. I did. It was super easy. I actually went into university as an honors psychology student, and I switched out of the honors just into a regular like bachelor's of psychology. At the time I had no interest in doing my thesis or doing any research, which was a big mistake, but it's okay. You live and you learn. But it's really easy. So we have a like site called uOZone, which is basically kind of like your hub, and there's just like I think it's called a program change request form, and you just fill that out with what you want to change into, and they will email you a reply basically saying if you're in it or not. Just know that, you know, you might have to take extra classes. It might involve an extra semester or even an extra year. So definitely look into it before you do it. But you can also go there to add your minors and your majors to your program as well. What was your experience transitioning from high school to university? Any tips to make it easier? It was hard, and I'll get into this a bit later on when I talk about failing classes, but it was really hard. I don't think I was set up great coming out of high school. Lighting keeps changing, the sun is going down, and I'm trying to get this video up as soon as I can for you guys. I don't think high school set you up that great, and I think friends could agree. It also depends where you go to high school, but I don't think my high school set us up the best. And that's not to say I didn't love high school. I love the high school I went to, but I just didn't think it set us up the best with study habits and study tips, and that's where I really did not thrive first year, was that I just didn't know how to study properly. And I know it is all a matter of like trial and error and figuring out what works for you, but I just was not set up at all, honestly. But I think just finding what works for you pretty early on in university in terms of like studying and lecture and whatnot is really helpful. Like some people, like I like to go to class and make lecture notes. Some people just like to listen. Some people like to do a combination. Some people like to print PowerPoints and write on them. Just find what works for you really early on, and I promise you will thrive. What was your favorite and least favorite class you've taken at uOttawa? I think my favorite was Drugs 101, which is a super like well-known elective at uOttawa. It was so interesting and really opened my eyes to like medication and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I really always enjoyed the science perspective of medication, which is kind of why I think I went into like the cancer care realm of healthcare, because I really enjoy like learning about chemotherapies and different immunosuppressants and like that side of things. I swear I should become a pharmacist. But my least favorite classes, probably reasoning and critical thinking, which is a mandatory first year philosophy class, I think for most programs now. And then also at the time, microbiology and immunology. It was just like a lot of information. Now I'm sure I could go and like ace it, because we deal with so many like bacterial infections at work and microbiology and all that stuff. But at the time I thought it was so stupid, and I did not care about Graft aureus or Staphylococcus. Like I just didn't care about any of that. But that was really challenging first year class for me. So someone said first year experience. Now I don't have a typical first year experience to share with you guys. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do frosh. I made one friend in third year, and her name is Nicole, and I love her to death, but I did not make any friends in first year. I didn't go to frosh. I didn't really do any socializing. I took a lot of classes with Brooklyn, which is one of my high school best friends. We took like some classes, we took a lot of classes together with some of our other friends. So I didn't really like make many friends. I know they did make a few more, but I just am always, I'm gonna get like backlash for saying this, I feel like, but I was the kind of person in university where I was like, I'm going to class and I'm leaving. Like I'm not here to socialize, I'm not here to make friends, which I know is a bad way to look at it, but that's just how I viewed it. I don't know. I just had enough friends and I was content with my life. But yeah, my first year experience was overall really good. I just don't have any like fun stories to tell you. Like I didn't go to any parties. I didn't go to frosh. I didn't do any of that stuff. So it was good though. It was fine. Like it was really eye-opening. First year was a little hard for me to adjust, but other than that, it was good. Have you ever failed a class? What do you do when it happens? Just go. I'm gonna be real honest with you guys, because I'm all about honesty on this channel. You know what? Nothing really changes when you fail a class. It goes on your transcript, and it really takes a fucking hit to your GPA, let me tell you. But depending on what program you're in, I know with anatomy, if you get between a 40 and 49, they actually let you redo the exam, and some other, I think engineering maybe, and nursing. I'm not positive though. Don't quote me, and definitely look into your program. But I know some programs will let you rewrite your exam if you get between a 40 and 49 on your exam or final grade. 4 classes in university, 1 each semester, first year and second year. First class I failed was chemistry, general chemistry. Second class I failed was anatomy 3, but I got A's in both the other anatomies. I don't know how it happened. Anatomy 3 was super boring to me. Then I failed child development in second year, and then I failed lifespan psychology. I had a rough go, granted, like I'm not trying to make excuses, but I did go through a lot in second year. And I guess like just to keep that in mind, like this is my journey and I'm okay with it. It took me a long time to come to terms with it, but I'm totally okay with it now. I went through a lot mentally, and there's stuff that I can just like never share on the internet, but I went through some traumatic experiences that really shaped me as a person. I guess it's as far as I'm going to go saying it. And so that was second-ish year, and it was a really rough time for me, honestly. And so yeah, that's also the reason why I did a 5th year, an extra semester, is because I failed 4 classes. So I was basically a whole semester behind. But yeah, it's life. You live and you learn. Like, we're not perfect, and you know, you just redo it. It's not the end of the world, honestly. I'm going to tell you guys this. It's really not the end of the world. What's your education and what are your future goals? So I just graduated with a Bachelor's of Art in Psychology and a minor in gerontology, which is the study of aging, specifically like more from like a health standpoint. So I really loved that. I absolutely loved my minor. Yeah, I loved it. And future goals, like I said, I filmed a video on this, which I will link down below. It's just kind of like my post-grad update. I don't know, with everything going on with COVID, I just got an email saying that we won't be able to take any electives until at least the fall, so that pushes me back from even fall applications. So the goal was hopefully this September or May applying to RT, PA, and nursing, but I actually won't even be able to apply to anything now because I can't take any classes between now and September that I need to get in. So it's all a waiting game, but if you guys are interested in staying tuned on my journey and see what I pick next, definitely subscribe down below because I keep you guys very, very updated on this channel. But yeah, something in the healthcare field for sure. I could also see myself in a manager position. I absolutely love, like, I could see myself as a unit manager for sure. I always say I'm going to be the first unit manager at our hospital without a nursing degree. Quote me on it, I'm gonna get there. But definitely something in the medical field. Someone said, why did you pick the school you did, and if you could go back, would you pick it again? This is an interesting one, and I'm really excited to talk about this. In Ottawa, we have two universities. We have University of Ottawa and Carleton. University of Ottawa, just for me at least, had like a more prestigious feel to it than Carleton. It was, Carleton just like felt like a second choice. And honestly, going back, I kind of wish I'd gone to Carleton. I loved my experience at uOttawa so much, and like I wouldn't change it for the world, but I didn't know anything about online classes back then, and they definitely were a thing. So I wish I looked more into getting in like an online degree, or like a university that offered more online classes, because uOttawa only offers like I think between 5 and 10. Carleton offers a lot more. They also have like video lecturing, and as you guys know, I work full-time. I work like shifty work, and it's just not easy sometimes. I wish I had looked into it more for sure. I basically got into uOttawa, accepted my offer right away. I didn't tour uOttawa, I didn't tour Carleton, I didn't apply anywhere out of my town. I should have listened to my parents and done it, but I didn't. But I don't regret it. But if I could go back, I would probably look more into like an online university like Athabasca or Carleton that has more choices. But I just really thrive on an online environment, and at the time I didn't know, like I wouldn't have known at the time that I was going to pursue a career at the hospital this early on and have to take online classes and do shift work to make it work with my schedule. But I just wish I had looked more into it. I just did not really. I like basically got accepted into uOttawa, and I accepted my application right then and there. I didn't wait for any of my other ones to come back. Like I just accepted it, which just take your time and research your choices, you guys, and do not let a stupid high school boy hold you back from going away if you want to go away for school. I wish I'd listened to my parents on that. Any favorite classes to recommend? I'm going to 4th year and need elective ideas. Okay, I love Drugs 101, like I said. Any gerontology minor is amazing. If you guys can take a class with Vanessa Taylor, do it. She is my favorite human being in the world and my absolute favorite professor. She teaches a lot of gerontology classes, and they are like on the easier side, especially if you're a science student. A lot of it is just like easy. If it comes easier if you are a science student. So like Intro to Aging is a 1st year class, really great. Biological Aspects of Aging is a 2nd year class, great. Anything is, it's a lot easier if you're a science student and it's already stuff you know. So any religion classes? Religion and Death was actually one of my favorite classes of undergrad. I loved it, and a lot of them are hybrid or completely online, so I would definitely look into that. This semester, I took a Intro to World Religions, the 2nd one, and it was so fascinating, and I learned so much, and I loved it. So definitely look into some of those. Spanish classes are pretty cool too. Like there's tons of Reddit threads about it, and also you can also join your uOttawa like graduating class. So mine is uOttawa graduating class of 2019, and they post stuff about classes and stuff in there, so definitely recommend checking that out. Are you relieved that you only had to pay for 1 year college? If you guys didn't know, my dad paid for my college journey, which I'm very thankful for. I love him to death, but since I had to take a 5th year because of like my mistakes and failing classes, I paid for that with OSAP, which is our provincial school funding. I'm very thankful and relieved. Like people come out of school with so much debt, and I'm so lucky that I only have 1 year. But that being said, whatever schooling I do next will be coming out of my pocket, so I'll be taking out student loans for that. Any regrets? Okay, I have 3. So my first one is I wish I got my shit together quicker in 1st year and learned kind of, like I said, study habits and learning lecture habits and not skipping class because I could. The second is getting a parking pass earlier on. I was literally miserable commuting. If you guys don't know, I'm a commuter student. I live about, when I was in school, I lived about 30 minutes away from campus. So I would drive, park at the nearest bus station, and take the bus, and I hated it. And that's part of the reason why I skipped class sometimes, was because I hated taking the bus. I ended up investing in a parking pass, which was so ideal for me. I know it's not ideal for everyone. And then also when I started working at the hospital, we have a shuttle there. So 4th and 5th year, I just took the shuttle, or I drove because I was only going to school 1 day a week because of online classes. And as much money on food. And I think that's just something that comes with age, you know. Now that I'm 23, almost 23, like I can't imagine the thought of like buying even my lunch at school 1 day. Like I pack my lunches for work, we eat at home all the time. Like I just can't fathom it. And I maxed out my credit card 1st year, which I think my limit was only like $500, but still I remember at the time being freaked out because I couldn't afford to pay it off. And like it was just on Starbucks. I would go to Starbucks every single day, sometimes twice a day, and then get food, and I'd reload my Starbucks card, and like it was so bad. I think I maxed out my card twice honestly in freshman year. just don't do it, okay? Make your coffee at home. And I know this comes with age and it's so exciting when you're 18 or 19 and you have a credit card or you know, you have a debit card and you have money on it, but like, just please budget your money. If you guys want me to film a video on it, I will gladly do it, but please just don't buy Starbucks every day. Best study spots on campus, I have 3. So I have the little first floor like study nook in, I think it's in Montpetit, but it's just like these little cubicles. They're like 1-seaters and I love studying in there. It was like one of my favorite spots. The next one is the library in the Faculty of Education. We discovered that in about, I think, 4th year, and it's awesome, especially if you're like in a group, but not all the tables have plugs, so get a booth. But that's a good spot to study too. And then also, like, I just usually study at Roger Gandel, which is the health science library at the med school campus attached to the hospital. So a lot of times I would just like go into work a few hours early and head to the library and study, or stay after work and study. So that's my favorite place because it's always pretty quiet. But if you're on campus, definitely Montpetit and La Moher. There's not a lot of study spots. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. That's the one thing uOttawa is slacking, is study spots. Or just like study at a coffee shop. I like to do that off campus if you guys have a car. You know, I love a good Starbucks study session. And if I could pick another major, what would it be? Ooh, okay. So when I was in high school, my stepdad said, Carter, apply to nursing. They'll always have jobs. And if you want to go to med school after like you wanted to, then you can do it. Just go to nursing and then you have a job. I of course, being a really stubborn 18-year-old, said, no, Dad, I don't want to be a nurse. I want to be a doctor. Which, what do I want to be now? A nurse. But I didn't do it and I regret it so much, because even if I wanted to go to med school after, I should have just applied to nursing. I didn't. I'd hoped to switch in and then realized they don't let people switch into nursing. So yeah, big mistake. If I could go back, I'd probably do nursing. I also wish they offered nutrition and English, because I think that would be cool, or even like kinesiology, but nursing. The last question I'm going to answer is, do you regret being a commuter and not staying on campus? I don't at all. I saved a ton of money. I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it at all. I saved so much money, and I'm now at a time in my life where I'm ready to move out. I just don't think back then I was financially responsible enough to do it, honestly. If I had like lived in a dorm, lived in an apartment or anything, I just don't think I was financially responsible. And you know, younger me might have said I was, but I definitely was not. And so I'm kind of happy I stayed home. I saved a lot of money, and I think I did miss out on stuff, but to me it was worth it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more of these. If you have other questions, I'd love to film like a part 2 about like post-grad or other questions you guys have. Give this video a big thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe if you're not already, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Bye!